6:45 this Saturday. Live look right now at Kennebunk Beach. Can see, some of those waves starting to form.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell that they're actually pretty large. Video, pictures, it never does justice to the height and power and fury of waves. Right. And that's low tide though. So at high tide, it's going to look way different at the mouth of the river there. And it's going to be a problem for our beaches, especially in southern Maine, which are all sand, obviously. Right. You know, the beaches themselves are going to take on a lot of erosion. How about our newbies out there on the down east coast?
We've been staying dry in the studio, but they're doing such a great job.
They really are. You know, we got Donovan out there in Cutler, his first real storm.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's getting battered out there. And then Dana, she's our brand new meteorologist. She's right out of Penn State, and this is her first experience in a storm here in Maine. And I just had a little text exchange. I got to put my readers on because I can't read anymore. I'm so old. But I just said, you know, hey, you're having a great job, having fun with it. Love to see it. She wrote, thanks. I didn't realize it would be so hard to talk with the rain and wind in my face. And I wrote, you're doing awesome. Great job. She wrote, I'm having so much fun.
That's so good. She's doing so well. I do want to give her a hair elastic, though. I feel bad. Her hair is like flying everywhere.
Little things, little tips that you can pass along, you know, because you've been in countless storms like that, right? All right, well, we're just getting going here on this Saturday morning with Lee, and it'll impact us all day long. The wind already starting to whip up a little bit out of the north. Power outage concerns all day. We have several thousand in down East Maine. I believe the number is now over 3,000 power outages as we're starting to get some gusts around 40 miles per hour. It's a wet morning for all of us, but we won't get a ton of rain through the majority of the state. Showers taper off this afternoon. The only flooding concerns for freshwater and inland areas is in down east areas, specifically Washington County. But the coast is going to get battered, especially at high tide, which is between noon and 1 o'clock this afternoon. The beaches will get erosion. Thankfully, the tide itself is not astronomically high, so it will be able to absorb a couple of feet of storm surge. And that means we'll only see like some splash over and some washover and not like a ton of debris and water that goes up through the roads and into people's basements from the ocean, things like that. We've seen much worse coastal flood effects from other storms, and we won't get it from this one. It's now post-tropical, Lee. As of 5 a.m., the National Hurricane Center is no longer calling it a hurricane. You know, that's just semantics. The messaging hasn't changed. The wind field is expanding now to the west, so we're getting into it, and we're also getting into the rain field too. That leading edge has made it all the way through the coastline, and it is working its way inland as well. We have showers in the Portland area, some steadier rain pretty far inland up into the Oxford Hills, all of York County, and the lakes of New Hampshire too. Mid-coast showers, but some heavier ones are working off of Penobscot Bay. Easily, though, the heaviest rain is from Bangor all the way to the Canadian border. And look at this band coming in to our friends out there in down east areas, about to get drenched by tropical rains. Easily could pick up an inch in about 45 minutes or so with that band coming on in. As far as the rain goes, again, these bands continue to work to the west. With that said, there's a ton of dry air over Maine, and they're going to chew at it. That dry air is going to chew at those bands and actually win. And by the afternoon, there's not going to be much rain left for western half of Maine, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see a little sun. The bands continue, though, from Bangor all the way to the Canadian border through dinner time, and then exit out of here tonight. And tomorrow is going to be awesome with a lot of sunshine. So really, I'm only concerned for flooding out here. We could still pick up an additional inch to 3 inches. A few roads may get compromised there, and it's possible we end up with some detours. To our south, P-Town gusting over 40, Nantucket gusting over 40. It's been wild on Cape Cod and the islands, and it's starting to get a little wild here too. Got a gust in Bangor, 41, Calais 37, Bar Harbor 31, 20s elsewhere in western and southern Maine where there's more bark than bite. It looks impressive, I'll say that. We don't typically get long duration wind events in the summer months, so seeing these branches sway and bend and the leaves rustling all around, it sounds different, it looks different. Hopefully we don't end up with a lot of outages, but we will get more. We already have several, we're going to get more. Hopefully you prep for them. The winds peak midday into the early afternoon, and then at sundown, they ramp down. And tonight, they will be a non-factor, especially after midnight. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, It'll actually be pretty pleasant out with a nice little breeze out of the west and dew points that are dropping. Check out this wave height south of Nova Scotia, 35 feet. And we have some double digits now getting into the Gulf of Maine and propagating to the coastline. Look at that outside of Cutler, 11 footers. So at high tide, our beaches and rocky coastline will get hammered. Tropical storm warnings are up, seas growing to 20 feet, north winds gusting to 50 knots. The water temperature took a little hit. It's down to 62 now after being in the 70-degree range just a few days ago. Rainy and windy most of the day, although rain does taper off this afternoon. Sunshine returns tomorrow, 75 to 80. It's going to be an awesome day. We can do some cleanup and crews can restore power. Monday, Tuesday, wet weather returns, and it's looking a little more impressive than yesterday. Probably some steady periods of rain in there Monday afternoon into Tuesday morning. Second half of next week, Chloe, boy, it looks special. Sunshine for 3 days. Awesome. Maybe a little taste of autumn in there too with some crisp mornings. No frost yet. Okay. I want to stress that. Our growing season continues and people can continue to harvest too.
We
that's not there
that
yet.
After this weekend.
Oh, totally, right?
That. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you, Todd, and we will check in with our live Storm Center crews one more time after the break.